because in the United States, we drive on the right. And your country drives on the left, because we're looking this way. You drive on, so we use the word on the left, on the left, on the right. How about this one? On the ground floor, on the first floor, on the second floor. So I can't say I live in the first floor. No, I can't say that. I say I live on the first floor. I live in an apartment on the first floor. I live in an apartment on the 5th floor. So no, I live in an apartment in the 5th floor? No, on the 5th floor or 2nd floor. Yes?
What do we call on the chart or in the chart? C-H-A-R-T chart.
Like a chart? So let me think of a sentence. Okay, when you go get your eyes checked, there's a chart, right? So you read the numbers on the chart. That's kind of like on the page, on the chart. You read the letters on the chart when you take an eye exam, right? All those A, E, O, whatever, all those letters. We also say on the web, on the website. Like this is on the website, on this Cambridge website. So we say on, like we say on a page, on a chart. Okay, on the first, can you read this? Now we also say on a map. Remember before when I said, oh no, the countries are on a map. All right, we say on a map, on a menu, on a list, on a page, on a website. Oh, here, let's read this. Here's don't buy anything not on the list. This one, you'll so we say on the website. On the website. This one, we now remember, so let's say Vienna. Danube, so this is in Vienna, here's that river. We say that Vienna, the city of Vienna, is on the river. Well, we know it's not really on the river, but we say on the river. We don't say in the river. And we say on a road, on the coast. Sometimes you could say at the coast, depending on the meaning of your meaning. So let's say this one. Inland means, what does inland mean? Inland. So here's a map. All the villages on the coast, but the ones in here are inland. Inland, the ones in here. And Bangkok, is Bangkok inland or on the coast? Inland. Where are we at Bangkok? Come around.
It is a coast.
Well, right here.
Yeah, yellow.
Well, is Thailand? Thailand is a coastal country, unlike but is Bangkok on the coast or inland? It's on the coast? It's inland? Oh, there's so...
One district connects, but these people don't know, but I know that one district, Bangkok, touches the sea.
If it touches the sea, it's on the coast. If it just touches the sea, it's on the coast. So inland or on land, but it's on the coast. Let's go to the second one or the next. We say on the way from one place to This one you guys use a lot because what are you doing on the way home? On the way home, I went shopping, or on the way home, I met my friend. On the way, we use that's an expression. On the way, all right?
Teachers,
Yes.
you apostrophe LL, what do we pronounce you?
This word, you, Y-O-U.
On the map.
This word. Oh,
You.
on the map. Tell me what? How do you pronounce?
Abbreviation of you will.
Yeah. What do we pronounce?
Oh, you. Okay, you will. Okay, so it's you will. You'll. Right. You will. You'll. That. Now remember, pronunciation. There's a little bit of difference. So I am from Texas, but I do not have a Texas accent, but a slight. But I live in Arizona, so I'll say you'll. John Scott, he had a New York accent. He might say it really different. You'll. In Texas, you'll say you'll. So, but you combine, and this is what I tell people. If it's easier for you to say you will instead of you'll, say you will. Because then you're understood. So if you'll sounds confusing to say and it's difficult to say, don't say it. Say you will. You will. You will go to the store or you'll go to the store. But if it's too difficult, just say, don't say the contraction. Just say it separate. And that's perfectly fine. Because it's better that people understand you than that you say a contraction. Because you'll is kind of a hard, you will. You'll. What? And people will go, what? Right, you'll. But just say you will. So don't worry about it. Right, like I would like. I can't understand that. So just say I would. So it's okay to, many people, for myself, I find that the more educated people do not use contractions as much. They say, I will go to the store. They separate it. The less educated people say contractions. Don't you know? Don't you know? Where I would say, do you not know? So it's okay to not use contractions that much, especially if you can't pronounce them. So you'll. So you, and in written language, when I write something, I tend not to say. In fact, in English, they say, don't use contractions in writing. When you write the whole thing. You will find the information, so you don't use it. So no contractions if they are too hard to pronounce. Better to say the two words, you will. All right? Where were we? We stopped on the way home. Now this one, we say, and this is just, okay, we say at the top of, at the bottom of. So at the top of the page, you will find the number. At the bottom of the page, you will find something else. Or at the end of, or at the other end of the street. At the bottom, at the top.
Teacher can use at the top of the mountain.
Yes. At the top of the mountain is the what? Yes, you use at the top of the mountain. What we say, I will hike to the top of the mountain because I'm hiking. But I can say, at the top of the mountain, I will take a picture. right?
Yes.
Yes.
The end of the story.
At the end of the story, I cried, right? Or at the end of the story, I laughed. Yes, you say at the end of, or now this one is at the other end of the street. So that's because you got two ends. So sometimes, how do you know which end you're talking about? At the top of, because you know it's the top, at the bottom of, on the top of, at the top of the page. But when it's horizontal, which end are we talking about? I am here at the other end, not at the end that's near me, at the other end, because it's horizontal. Ends are usually on a horizontal plane. So that's why we say other end, because that's other end of the street, because the street is this way, so other end, right? At the, how about this one? We say in the front, in the back of a car. I was back of the car when we had the accident. Again, with just the way we say things, in the front, in the back. But we could say at the front, at the back of a building. When do we use which? So let's go. The garden. Because this is location. This is telling me where the garden is. So we use at. Lisa, or let us sit